product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Your product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your host, Sean Lewis, and I am here to bring you part 2 of Trash Bag Boys. Now listen, on Monday we kicked off the first episode, so if you haven't heard that one, go back and check that one out. We'll pick it up from where we left off. So without further ado, here we go.
I don't have like the 6 hours, because it's not about I'm gonna have a glass of Chardonnay with dinner. It's like, if you want to escape, you want that checkout, that whatever you want, that's just gonna like, I don't have that time.
You can't put.
I got too much shit on the line. I got these dudes. Yeah. I've now painted myself into a place where I don't have 6-8 hours to fucking 3-4 hours to fucking party. 6 hours to fucking sleep it off. Then I'm not going to be at 100%. So really what I've done is I've just fucked off a couple of days.
Right.
Because
easily.
I wanted to party or whatever it might be. And that's where I think that, like,
dude,
I think that for guys that fucking have chewed it up, the alternative to not continuing to do that is to go.
Yeah, but it's a high wire act, my friend.
It can be.
Because
can be, but
listen, I'm here.
Much rather be addicted to fucking business and money and grind than to drugs.
No, you're all
have to
everything.
figure it out.
Listen,
Yeah.
God bless you, salute. That's absolutely right. Everything you said. I'm just talking. I'm just saying. Look, I'll just talk for me.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk for motherfucking Red Man Savage me.
Yes.
All right. Now look.
Your only engine.
Listen. You're right. But it's a high wire act. Not because, right? Not because when you're grinding and you're doing and you're fucking and it's got not the stress, not the da-da-da, but for a guy like me, right? Like, if all of a sudden there's a break that I didn't create, right? Like, for whatever reason, I've grind. I didn't plan it. Oh, I wasn't trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But everything just stopped for a minute because it's a holiday.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I look at the fucking sheets and I'm like ahead of the curve. I mean, I'm actually got a couple of days now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in a situation like that, that's when I might fucking go crazy. Cause I actually have a couple of days. I did everything I was supposed to do and then some. And it's done and it's put away and it's packed and now it's
tightened up. Buttoned up.
And now now it's
zipped up and
right.
ready to go.
It's spring break.
Bow on it. Right?
Everything's fucking shut down. I don't need to go in. I don't need to. Nah. Right? Now I got a soft spot and nobody's going to check in on the boy. Right? Could be a neat little couple of drinks. Next thing you know, dude, I'm fucking driving my fucking Camaro through the fucking. Know what I mean? It's a time wire, bro. It's a time wire. You gotta be,
Well, yes, I definitely played that circus game before, bro. I had the motherfucker. You had that shit on there. You said you were describing some chapters in my life.
That's the same here, bro.
But
same
absolutely.
Here,
So you guys miss drinking?
I'll be real with you. I'm gonna stop fucking with you.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I like talking about getting fucked up and I like talking about all that shit and getting real about all that. But you don't get 21 years of sobriety by missing drinking. I don't, bro. I fucking don't. And the real part of it is this. More than anything else, right? Dude, it ain't been easy. 3 years in, fuck.
Like celebrations and all that? You don't know?
I don't even, fuck celebrations. I wasn't drinking because of celebrations anyway. Right? Like, I'm like, what am I, fucking toast to the coast? Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? I don't need that. Right? No, not celebrations. And football, right? Like, oh, how am I going to watch football? I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to what the fuck, bro? I ain't going to do that. I want to live a life like yeah, all that bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I legit all of a sudden no longer thought about it, cared about it. It just dropped out for me completely. And I went through my dad's death sober, right? He died like long death sober, right? I went through fucking law school, the bar exam. Everyone in my law school was a drunk. I wasn't drinking, right? All this other stuff. Went through the whole, how come they can drink and I'm not drinking? All that stuff, right? All of it, really do not miss it at all, right? Every once in a while, I miss LSD.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
Sheesh.
I'm not kidding. I think about it every once in a while. I'm like, well, man, you're a fucking Indian. You should be fucking tripping every once in a while. That's part of your culture, homie. And I'm like, all right, I don't need to get fucking crazy with that shit, right? I think about it. But that's it. But when I look at my 3-year-old little girl and there's no alcohol in my house and she doesn't have to worry about her dad acting weird or even feel, because I know what it feels like when I saw my dad change, like you talked about.
Yeah. When your parent starts
changing.
Yeah.
Everything from shame to fear.
Yeah, bro. You see it.
You do.
You feel it.
You do.
Because you're attached to your parents. So the feelings they're going through when you're a kid, they're taking you through all their shit.
And
their
you
emotions.
want, dude,
yeah, man, you just want that, put that shit away, man.
That
fucks up everything.
Everything. Poisoned. And
it's handed, that's, that's how it is, man. That shit's handed down all the time.
Yeah, bro. And
it's
so,
really handed down.
And when you're a kid, like you're a little kid, you want your parent to be a hero. You look up. You're like, man, I love my dad. I love my mom. Fuck, bro. This thing I was talking about, I don't know. It's a completely different show all of a sudden, but I fucking was sitting there in court today. Not the case that I worked on, right? But other people coming through, and I can tell you, man, it was 10 instances of parents letting their kids down. Just letting their motherfucking kids down.
In court?
Like
what do you mean?
Well, so like there was a bunch of guardianship shit, right? So guardians, right, are relatives or somebody that the child is going to go and live with and be protected by because the parents are fucked up. And there was this little girl, she was probably like 8, chubby, right? And she was smiling and her 2 grandmas were there to get a legal authority so they could do like, take her to school and do all the shit that a parent's supposed to do because both her parents were fucked up. And the little girl, in some ways, is luckier than a lot of people because they might not have, right? But that little girl, man, my heart broke because I was like, man, that little girl doesn't know yet what she's going to face. Like, she doesn't know all the levels to having your parents not be the hero you want them to be. And like, I felt it what you were saying when you were like, man, you look at it and you can see a change. And just that change, it's already like, fuck, it's broken. It's broken. So, at that level, bro, I'm gonna be real, man. I don't think about that shit at all.
Yeah, fuck alcohol.
Yeah, I really don't.
Yeah, straight up.
I really don't. And you know what? I really don't have an opinion about what other people want to do, right? Okay?
Yeah, man. I'm not sweating you do, but I have to say, just here on my show, in my own, it's like, I almost feel like they set that, it's a big setup, man.
It is.
Like, I bit in and started playing it like the mouse is just chasing it around. Like, and I look back on it now and it's like, nah, man, I don't want to be unconscious. I don't want to be done. Not even if it's just for a couple hours or whatever I tell myself.
Right.
I don't want any part of that type of energy, man. That shit is poison.
Well, the way the world's set up now, it ain't even just the United States, it's everywhere. But like, you think about it, like there's all this disconnection, man. Like the kids are sent off to school, then they're trained how to, at 18 be in these jobs. They go away from their own families. And then we're not even talking about alcohol. It's all set up to be very difficult for all of us to feel together, to know each other, to keep an eye on each other. You know what I mean? To say, hey, good job, or hey, you know what? You're getting out of line. It's not cool, right? And it's exactly
you're eating too many CBD fucking things. Yeah.
Oh, he's high as fuck. But it's like what you were saying when you started out the show about the evolution of a community. Like you're gonna have to change some fundamentals where you're like, you know what, fuck it. You know what? I'm not chasing that anymore. I chased that a long ways and it didn't get me anything. And I'm not even talking about drugs. I'm just like talking about like certain things that people chase. Chasing the perfect sex person, right? Like, or the hottest person, or the most bestest job, or the whatever. I know so many people that chase all that shit, you know, and it's like, you know, it doesn't give you what you think you're gonna get ever, right? And you put a lot of energy into it. So the best thing in my mind is, you know what? Chase yourself. Like, chase what you're doing. Like, you like doing X, Y, and Z. That's what you're good at, Big Lux. You're fucking phenomenal. No matter how many times things have gone this way, that way, you always show up with this, and it fucking, in a short amount of time, takes off, right? And same thing with you, homie. It's like, you know, like you said, like, you know what? I'm about positivity. I'm about building this. I want to branch out. I want to change what we think recreational fun time is about. It's not going to be about alcohol. It's going to be about this plant. You know, all that other kind of stuff, right? I think all of that, right? All of that is definitely a change in the fundamentals that we've been accustomed to thinking that this world is about.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. But it almost has to go through all these ups and downs
For
until
sure.
it spits out
For sure.
people that actually understand it, or maybe can convey it, or should even speak on it. But I mean,
Right.
because you get into the fucking weed world, dude, there's like, to be sober in that community is kind of a trip.
Right.
I mean, it's even more trip if you don't eat, and especially if you don't drink, but if you don't smoke. But if you don't, even not drinking, it's very, it's like people in that industry. There are some people in the industry that smoke, but they don't get it. Like, oh, hey, smoke weed, but you don't drink a beer. Or like it's
Right.
like the other way
It's not
around.
the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
yeah, I mean, it's not. It's not. And so, it's just a trip. But, you know, it's the other part that's interesting. We talked about this was like, we did a big cookies party for Los Angeles at Fountain, LA. And, we were talking, we were talking about like, there was 2 bars and X amount of alcohol and this, and we were kind of like, we had some weed that wasn't being sold, just sponsorships. They came in, gave them a little setup, and they just gave out, they were rolling, and you could consume as much as you wanted, right? And, I remember fucking that somebody, one of the guys that was doing a lot of activations at a lot of different places throughout. He's like, hey, don't trip out. Like, the bar's not going to do that much money. Like, because of such and such, like, people that are coming to this event that know about this event are coming to like smoke, you know?
Right.
Right. And yeah, it was, they did good numbers, but at the end of the night, they were like, we've never, like, the numbers were good enough, but they were like, yeah, dude, like, your crowd is smoking. Like, they're not really tripping off it. And remember that night? There was no fights.
No fights.
All peaceful. I was about
It
to
was
say.
all peaceful, dude. There was nobody getting like out of line, like acting nothing, dog.
That's
all
right.
mellow, dude. And at a lot of events, especially like stuff like that, man, shit cracks off, you know? So I don't know, man. I'm just a big advocate on the alcohol thing. I don't knock anybody that drinks, you guys.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that get up every day and they make it happen for their family and themselves, and they drink. That's fine.
Right.
It's not been my experience, you know?
Me either, dog. Me either.
But shit, dog, like, that's what I'm saying, man. It's your life for guys that beat it up like that. And I'll just say for myself, if I just remove the alcohol, just that in of itself, my life starts to get better.
Right.
Just by removing the alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Just that.
Boom.
And my life starts to go. And then I start taking notice to more things that I can do.
Compa, I put the bottle down, picked up the plant, and life's been better, bro. I swear I wake up at 5 a.m. I fucking get on the hustle.
Right.
I'm like grinding. I go to sleep every day like at 1. And I wake up at 5, 6, like without alcohol.
Right.
Now if I drink, I'm sleeping in. I'm having an enchilada the next day. I'm just like fuck it and fuck.
That's so true.
Yeah,
That because it leads to bad eating too.
yes,
to
you get
recover.
fat and shit.
Yeah.
Like
You are, dude, let me make it real clear. Like, and maybe it's part of like what's been pitched to us. Okay. But I know I have I have people that I look at in my life that surround. I study these people, people, and I've had for the last 20 plus years. Some of these people, and I'm not I'm not gonna say no. I want to say this the right way. Like nobody's executing at a super high level. I don't think just partying through the day, you cannot unless you're like some billionaire guy that can just run around.
Yeah, but then you have teams that are actually doing the work.
Exactly.
You got your team doing it.
Right.
You can just drive into walls and I'm Tommy.
Your whole fucking glove compartment is just cocaine.
Right.
Do you know a successful drunk?
Brother, I'm telling you, man.
Can you name someone?
Bro, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting
Fields?
at. Don't know. I mean, there have been these few, but they were making so much money. They were making so much money that they were surrounded by leeches that continued to let that happen and protect them.
What about-
so that they can make money? How about that? Like Elvis Presley. And all
Right,
these
but he died at 42. And his daughter just died.
Right.
Oh, what happened to that?
The thing that I heard with the Lisa Marie Presley thing is I heard that she had severe stomach pains that day. Okay. Don't know what it means. From what I've read and what's been reported, the ex-husband who was still living with her or whatever, but they were exes, took the kids to school that morning. She was complaining about stomach pains. He came back. When he came back, the housekeeper was distraught and upset, and Lisa Marie had not been moved at all. He performed CPR on her, and the 911 came, but I think when they came, it was just too late. And they say for sure that the reports are for sure it's not suicide. And then
It's not due to alcohol?
well, no, not necessarily alcohol, but it's unclear as whether or not it was prescribed drugs that might. And now this is me speculating, right? This is me speculating, right? If she had severe stomach pains that eventually killed her, this sounds crazy, but because you showed me that Instagram video of Matthew Perry crying because he had to stop drinking when all of his friends could keep drinking and he had millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, I went on this project and I started reading the Matthew Perry autobiography because I was gonna torment you with it, read it, pieces of it, and watch you go nuts. So in reading that, he had to go to the doctor. He was in sober living, his 57th sober living, 47, right? Rich, right? And he was doing, I think, Dilaudid and stuff like that, right? Prescribed opiates and shit, right? He hadn't taken a shit, I don't know how long. And so what happened to him was he had stomach pain, right? He had severe, he said he had never been in that much pain in his entire life. He was fat and crying, and his assistant was helping him out of the sober living doctors and everyone were trying to stop him. He's pill sicky. But when they got him to the hospital, his colon exploded.
Fuck.
And he died?
No, he didn't, but he had to wear a fucking shit bag for a long ass time. He almost died. Almost died. So I'm thinking if it's similar where she might have been on some prescribed opiates and she had that stomach pain, maybe something burst inside her and she died.
But think about it. I just want to say this. No, we don't have to
Go ahead.
say something.
Go ahead.
Her father
Right.
had his own doctors.
Right.
Elvis Presley. That's how this motherfucker was getting. He had his own doctors.
Right.
Her old man had his own doctors.
Right.
Michael Jackson, right?
Right.
He had his own doctors.
He died.
So what makes you guys think that in the midst of all that, that's what she's knowing? She's knowing you have your own fucking... She had a doctor too. That fucking chick died of a heart attack because she was on she was probably on a whole program. That's why you don't hear about her. She don't come out. She don't talk to nobody because she busy getting motherfucking high. That's why you don't hear from her. She got her own doctor and she's just going to ease up and she's probably just on the sniffle and she...
Dude, I forgot.
Something went wrong or whatever, but I'm telling you, man, that's the world she was in. That's a really undercover, dark world at that level.
Her old man, you reminded me. I forgot she was married to Michael Jackson, and that
You don't think that
That
died.
dude,
She was married to him. She knew what the fuck is going on.
that dude had
And her dad, she knew their dad
he
had
died on the
motherfucking-
toilet because I think that the cause of death was a heart attack partially caused by a backup of all of the shit because he had fucking opiate fucking whatever that is, clogging syndrome or whatever that is. And that he died on the toilet trying to take a shit.
If you have the disease,
That's a true story.
if you have this addiction and this other way of solutions, and that's what you do, those are your solutions, and you have kids, then I'm sorry to tell you,
Yeah.
that's your kids' solutions too.
Yeah.
They're gonna solve their problems the same way that their parents solve their problems.
It's tough. That's a tough fucking.
Think about that shit, you know?
Hell
So anyways,
yeah.
yeah, that's sad. 54, that's a healthy young, she don't have no business dying of a fucking heart attack
54?
at 54.
Yeah, I did. She was
54, young.
beautiful. I mean, she's a beautiful, and the little girl, and so much talent in that family. It's fucked.
And the kids now don't have any parents at all.
I think about that.
Think about that. Michael Jackson goes and fucking dies of an overdose.
But I think the kids that
I
he
bet-
had were with some fucking British
You want to
nanny.
know
or
something? Let me tell you something.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that bitch has enough money to have it be like, they don't even want to say she OD'd. She got enough money to make it be like, yeah, you're gonna, you know, we're going to say it was this or that. But I think
Natural
she fucking-
causes.
Right. I think it was drug related, man.
For sure.
I'll tell you something.
Started with alcohol.
Well,
Straight up. dog.
well, I mean, if you just can't cope with your own mind, that's hard. It ain't easy.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what?
hard.
It ain't easy to fucking deal with your brain. You know what I mean?
it is. You just gotta let your nuts hang and just be a man. Dog. Just be a fucking man.
That's
Dog.
our t-shirt. Look. You want to fucking deal with your fucking brain? Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang
Be a
and just
man.
be strong.
Yeah, be strong.
Be strong. Can't be.
Yeah, Sean.
weak.
Oh, blue eyes, be strong. Let your nuts hang, brother. The fuck?
Let them
Louis?
drag on the floor, dog.
Louis is like, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It's called trash bags because my nuts are like big giant trash bags, and they drag on the floor.
Straight up, man.
We gotta, hey man,
Yeah.
hey man, tell us like, what kind of strains and what kind of cannabis stuff are you guys doing, man? Tell me about a little bit, because I want people to know about your business.
Well, goof nerds. We're known for goof nerds, dog. Straight up. It's like
Is
a
that
candy
right?
strain. Yeah. Well, yeah, goof nerds. Goof nerds.
And is that what you guys are busy breeding? That's what you guys do?
We're doing because the market's just changing all the time. So we're like, we were big on OG, and then everybody went on to the exotics and the candy flavors, and I'm like, fuck. So just to keep up with the market, because prices are fucked unless it's quality. You know
Right.
what's up. You know what I mean? So, what's your favorite strain?
Cookies, everything.
Right.
Okay, but what's your favorite
Um,
from cookies?
I would say
It's a hard one, huh?
it is. I would probably say the pound cake.
Pound cake,
Yeah, I like pound cake, or like
the London pound cake.
London pound cake, or like there's a wedding, like there's some cakes in there that I really like.
Wedding
but
cake's
yeah,
nice. I
maybe
got played out though.
Maybe yeah.
I got played out.
But
Yeah,
he's
it
a
did,
cake
it did.
dude. I mean,
Yeah, cakes,
he's
yeah.
a cake dude.
Yeah. I like cakes. but-
Birthday cake.
birthday cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, there's stuff, nameless genetics. Yeah, brother. I'd say or OG Kush.
OG, yeah, that's king.
So where do people go to hear your podcast, Trash Bag
Yeah,
Boys?
man.
YouTube talking trash bag boys.
Okay.
You know what I mean, my Instagram is trash bag boys, but
Yeah.
it's so shadow banned. You have to like spell it all out, and I'm at the bottom. So I started my own personal. It's Compa Raider, Compa _Raider, RAIDHER.
Right on, Compa Raider.
Compa
And
Raider.
then also, if they want to find out more about the company, buy some products, what do they got to do?
Telegram right now.
Right, Telegram.
Go on the Telegram, but there's a lot of fake accounts right there. There's a scammer that keeps scamming my peeps. It's
Really?
fucking sad. And these dumbasses, like, I don't write paragraphs to you. I don't like try to lure you in, send money. It's crazy how like this.
Wow,
This
really?
guy's been doing, whoever it is, it's like a super fan, bro. It's crazy. I'll FaceTime you. Now they're starting to do FaceTime, but like they'll put a hockey mask on or whatever, trying to portray me It's
What?
crazy. Yeah, if you look up Trash Bag Boys on Instagram, you'll see all kinds of fake profiles with my pictures.
You got like a digital stalker, dude.
It's crazy. And they've been making a lot of money for sure because people tell me, hey, I got burnt for this, I got burnt for that. I'm like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? We did launch at Cookies in Woodland Hills. We launched at Lemonade and Dr. Green Thumbs. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a second launch again. You know what I mean? We did it with Food's Gone Wild, Broken Windows. I had Broken Windows, Sheesh, Goof Nerds, and Goof Lotto. Goof. I do everything with Goof because my best friend is he passed away. You know what I mean? And we used to call him Goof. He was just a sweetheart. You know what I mean? And he died of. His heart just stopped. It died for an enlargement heart. I don't know. That's weird. You know what I mean? And he had a big heart. You know what I mean? So everything.
So like literally.
Yeah, literally, he died off that. So everything. If you follow me, is everything. Rest in peace, Big Goof. Like it's like my angel up on top. You know.
Right.
Dude, I'm looking at Talking Trash, their podcast. It looks fucking sick. First thing that comes up on my thing is Nick Rosenberg, fucking greatest lawyer of all time.
Has he been here? Has he been here?
Yeah, he's been on here.
Oh, he's crazy.
Coming back.
Hey, how many times has he been here?
We had him once and twice with another guest. And he was in the background, and then we brought him in for his own show.
Oh, nice,
and then
nice.
he and I lawyered it up. We fucking, I asked him the quintessential question. I'm like, you're dedicated to defending criminals. Now, would you defend Donald Trump? And he had an interesting answer.
He doesn't fuck with Donald Trump.
I can't say. Gotta go to the episode, find out what the fuck he said, bro.
Sheesh, that's a good marketing key.
Yeah.
What's up, Donald Trump or Biden?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Biden every day.
And you? Biden?
Biden is the better of the two.
Everybody.
Biden is the better. Biden is the better.
You think he's gonna win?
Okay, so let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
All right, now you got into another zone.
This is Talking Trash.
Yeah.
Dog.
So I just got done reading a book called The Long Alliance, which was about Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Joe Biden and Barack Obama. And what like a lot of people don't get is that
The
like
US cartel.
well, I mean they all are at that level they all are.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, like I mean, to be honest with you, so you know, at some point you're in the cartel. Like, there's no like fucking outsider. Even Donald Trump's not an outsider, right? He might be the lowest level insider that accidentally got up, right? He's a real estate developer from New York, right? That's not an outsider.
When he was in office, packs were high. Business was good. Now everything's like
no, it wasn't. No, and in fact, the oil reserves. He actually broke a deal with the Saudi, or he made a deal with Russia to stop producing that actually dropped the level of oil production. It's actually just gotten back to where it originally was now. And that is a fact. And the reason why I know that is because one of the guys that runs Chevron, or one of the oil companies, was explaining why the gas prices went up for a second. And he said, for sure, the supply chain got all fucked up during COVID, which that was on Dude's watch. And I'm not going to blame Donald Trump for COVID. That just happened. Like, I don't know how that happened, but that just happened. But the point of the matter is that, and I don't think people really realize this, it's hard to get this information. I don't blame people, really. I mean, I do because I'm a dick, but I don't blame people because I had kind of forgotten. Like, Biden and Barack Obama, right? Barack Obama, you got to remember, Barack Obama came on the scene because people got sick and tired of George W. Bush's bullshit. Remember, think about this. A black man with a name like Barack Obama, which sounds like some Middle East shit, who's a smoker. You can't pick a more unfavorable set of criteria for someone to run for American politics at all. You can't. But W, and the reason why W was unpopular was not necessary. He was in the beginning because of 9/11. It's when he went to Iraq, which had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. That's when people were like, what? And then people even, and now listen, fucking Colin Powell, right? And Dick Cheney, right? The shadow vice president under W. they went to the UN and they pitched this whole concept. And we all watched it. And they said, Saddam Hussein's got fucking weapons of mass destruction in the back of fucking semi-truck trailers, and he's driving on. We got to get in there. That's what they said. And we spent a lot of money, and a lot of Americans died. And by the end of W's thing, the world was sick of him. A lot of Americans were sick of him. A lot of American soldiers died in Iraq needlessly.
Right.
And we didn't get the guy who actually fucked us up. Who was that? Bin Laden. We didn't get him. We weren't anywhere close to getting him. So they voted in this Barack Obama, who beat out Hillary. Remember that? He fucking clowned Hillary. He got in there. His vice president was Biden. And you got to remember, Barack showed up in the Senate as a newcomer. He was young. He was 45 when he became the president. So when he showed up in the Senate, Biden thought he was like a kid. Biden he'd already been in the Senate for 30 years, so he'd already seen people come. He's seen, everybody come in young and talk big, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. He watched Ted Kennedy do shit. Like, he'd been there. He saw it. He saw it all. He knew Mitch McConnell. So he worked with all them dudes, right? And they paired him up with Barack because Barack obviously was picking up African Americans, women. He was really good with women. They loved what he was doing, probably because of his marriage to Michelle. Didn't seem like a sham like Bill and Hillary and all that bullshit. So that was all working for him. But one of the things he couldn't get was blue collar white dudes in Pennsylvania who might be a little bit conservative, right? But they're also union guys and they work at the factory or they drive the tractor trailer, all that kind of shit. Biden, Trans Am Camaro, cheesy Uncle Joe Biden, who'd been there and it was an Irish fucker for a very long time, was picking those guys up. And that's why they put them together. And of course, right, nobody would have come out and said it then, but the pitch against Barack Obama would have been, you really gonna trust a black dude to be the president? I mean, really? White America? Is that really where you're gonna go? And Biden was supposed to kind of shore that up, like, all right, it ain't gonna get that crazy. Because look at who got Uncle Joe right there.
Right.
They got 2 terms. 2 terms. He beat, you gotta remember this, he beat McCain. That combo, John McCain, who by the way is not like some dyed-in-the-wool fucking conservative guy. He's Republican, but he was also known as the Maverick because he would do his own thing too. He wasn't, but he was a POW in Vietnam and came.
I remember that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking McCain was.
He walked a little weird, McCain.
Dude.
Oh, he walked with a limp. I remember, dog.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. He had one arm. He couldn't raise his arms up.
Right.
Because the Viet Cong were hanging him by his fucking arm.
Yes, bro. And
with
then
bamboo.
you'd see him walk up. You'd see him on stage when he walk up on stage. Like, he was disabled vet from the fucking torture, from the fucking, Right. He's a straight fucking G, too. He didn't give a fuck. He'd be ready to, like, roll up his sleeves right there and get him down fucking.
Exactly. And that dude McCain, let me tell you something about this dude McCain, which is interesting. That dude, John McCain, he was going up against Barack Obama. Now, at some point, it caught fire, like, first black American president, right? It caught fire. Now Biden's second banana to a young kid. And at first, Biden wasn't feeling being the vice president. He's like, what the fuck? And so what am I going to do? Get put out to pasture? Right? I'm a senior position in the Senate. I'm not going to fucking take the shitbag job of being the fucking vice president where I don't got anything to do unless this guy dies and he's young. He ain't going to die. I'm going to die before he dies. But because Biden had been in there for so long, he was able to actually partner up. And they brought in Palin as McCain's vice president. That's who they selected for him. And that was the beginning of this Trump kind of thing that you're seeing now, where it was like, not detail oriented, but kind of controversial and interesting, and maybe saying some shit you don't hear people say in politics, Palin, right? But they lost. Barack got a second. He got a second term, and they went up against Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. And Mitch McConnell was a true, like, conservative Republican in the way of Bush Sr., which was more like regular. Now, after Barack, of course, you have Donald Trump, right? And I think ultimately, I think Donald Trump's brand has been so thoroughly thrashed, right? Now, is Biden going to run again? I don't know.
He said he is, though?
He said he was, but he may not. I don't know. Do I think if you put Trump up against Biden, would Biden win? Yes, I do think that. Do I think he would win against DeSantis? Don't know that yet. That's a different...
What do you think about him?
I personally don't like DeSantis at all. I don't think that guy knows jack shit. I feel like DeSantis, I think he's misusing... See, DeSantis is misusing conservatism. There really is such a thing as a conservatism in America, right? I don't necessarily go that way, but the idea of a small government and the idea of like maybe like controlling taxes a little bit, and like the idea that like, you know, that I believe that. But when DeSantis comes out and says, well, we can't be teaching critical race theory. Like, I know people don't like the name of it, but really it's history. And the truth is that Mexican Americans have been fucking oppressed. American Indians, that land was stolen. Poor whites at Ludlow were shot and killed in mines by rich whites. Okay? That's the fucking truth.
Think about that. Say that again.
Poor whites were shot and killed in mines by rich whites. Okay? That's true. African American slavery, that's a real thing. In fact, I'll tell you another one. Right now, I'm reading about the Black Panthers, okay? Mm-hmm. Dude. So, one of the ways that the Black Panthers, people don't know this. The Black Panthers got started in the Bay Area. It started in Oakland. It started in Oakland because after Malcolm X was killed, they had finally had enough with the civil rights bullshit. They tried that fucking Martin Luther King shit. That didn't work. Why? Police brutality. In Oakland, they were killing young black men, these police, right? And creating, that's when this idea of the young criminal, the black young criminal, right? That you start putting police in schools and all this shit, right? That all started. And part of that was because after World War II, the jobs that were open to African Americans that caused them to leave the South and get these new jobs over in California. Mm-hmm. When World War II shut down, those jobs went away. What do you think happened to all those African Americans, man? They just got shoved into East Oakland, and there was racially segregated residential rules as up to like 1960 in Northern California, Oakland, San Francisco, Piedmont, which is like hills above Oakland, all white. Down in the flatlands, they would call them flatlanders, all black. And they would send cops down there to regulate black folk. And these cops had such a way with the black people that they were terrorized by them. So Huey Newton, not Huey Newton.
Yeah.
Okay. And Bobby Seale. Okay? Huey Newton, Bobby Seale. Huey Newton read all the gun laws. He was half street, half fucking intellectual.
He was the founder of the fucking
Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. That's what it was originally called. And he studied...
It was originally called the Black Panther
Party for Self-Defense. That was originally what it was called. And the reason why it was called that was because the concept that Huey Newton came up with was reading the gun carry laws and learning exactly what you could and could not do so that he couldn't get arrested and fucked up and more black youths couldn't get beat or killed by police. There was and nobody do an investigation because there was a case, I can't remember the name of it, but this kid, one of the quintessential cases, this kid was supposedly shot committing a felony. Black kid, black young man. In a store. Cops shot him. When they did the autopsy, the shots were in the armpits. The coroner said he lost blood, but where they found the body, there was no pool of blood. 20 feet away there was like a pool of blood that was unexplained. So these cops killed this black man, just like George Floyd, bro. Just fucking like that, okay? The Black Panther, Huey Newton. So Huey Newton said, all right, and he read and he learned that you can have you can carry a loaded gun in public in California so long as it's not concealed. So he said, all right, we're all going to carry guns. He read all the case law related to observing cops when they're arresting somebody. So long as the Supreme Court said, as long as you're reasonably away, every citizen has a right to observe what the cop's fucking doing. And then you could carry unloaded shotguns in the car, and that was just for fish and game. That wasn't even anything. So one of the first things they did to test it out, and this is where they got recruiting these dudes, dude. This is where they started recruiting these motherfuckers. So Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, and some other fucker, they're in this car, right? They're driving. Now they're going to go, and they start following a cop. They've got a fucking shotgun on the dashboard, and they got fucking guns on their hips. This is no lie, bro. And they're following the cop. And they stay one residential block behind the cop. He turns left, they turn left. In their neighborhood. Turns right, they turn right. So the cop pulls over at a stop sign. She pulls over. Huey Newton and these black dudes, fucking leather and fucking froze and all that shit, with fucking guns all around the car, pull right up and look at the cop like, what, motherfucker? Well, you got something to look at? Right? And then they move through the stop. Cop pulls behind them. Because this white cop's like, this fucking black dude's fucking, I'm gonna fucking, time to regulate. Right. He turns on the lights, right? Everyone in the car's like, hey, pull over, Huey, pull over. He said, lights don't mean nothing. Flashing red light could, that's a true story. Flashing red light could mean anything.
What does that mean?
It means
Flashing
that
red light, like he's like, oh, flashing red light. That don't mean anything.
it doesn't in an arrest. It doesn't. Flashing red light is
Doesn't mean shit, right?
you could potentially be like, I don't know, a fire truck could be what, I don't know what that is. Then when he flipped the siren on, he pulls over. Light, no siren? I don't know what that is. What are you doing? Light, siren? Oh, you want me to pull over? Okay, I pulled over. Now this fucking cop, big red face fucking big cop, comes up there and is like, and he's calling everybody boy and the N-word. I mean, it ain't nothing. This is 1960. He goes up in there and he's like, he tries to reach, he puts his head inside the car to reach for the shotgun, and Huey Newton pushes his head up against the thing and pushes him out of the car, grabs the shotgun and rocks the thing in the chamber and goes, and the cop goes, give me that shotgun, boy. He goes, I'm not under arrest. You can't touch my personal property. You can't invade this space. Am I under arrest? He's like, get out of that car. So they get out. They all have guns. And they're all trained on this fucking cop. Cop now is like, fuck, I don't know what. Right? And now black people are starting to come around and be like, hey, what up? Jay? And then, so they call for backup. So all the cops and the captain come down. Fucking standoff. And they're telling, and the cop comes over to Newton and said, give me that shotgun. He's like, all right. If I'm not under arrest, I'm not giving you my personal right. You obviously don't know the Constitution, so you can go fuck yourself. And so he goes, all right, well, come over here with me. He's like, I'm not under arrest. You can't make me go anywhere. I'm going to stay right the motherfucking here. So they complain to the captain. The captain looks at the books and everything. And they don't tell you this often, but the Black Panther Party would carry a law book with them. They would have a gun and a law book. So they could fucking go to the page and show these fucking cops.
Wow.
And they would hand them out. That's true. And the captain said at the end of it, dude, this isn't even the major story. This is just the captain told him, I don't see anything we can really arrest these guys for. And all the cops fucking had to pack it up. The only thing they could do was write a ticket because he was using a coat hanger to hold up the fucking license plate on the back of the bumper. Other than that, they couldn't do shit. Like a multitude of cop cars packed their shit up and left. And that's when the Black Panther Party for self-protection, self-defense became a fucking national sensation in Oakland. And that's the true story.
I don't know how we got there, but that is fucking history. That's for real.
That's for real. That's the real one. So the reason why, I say all that to you to say, that's why I don't like when DeSantis and all these other people try to control how history's taught. Because it's real easy for young people to not know the real history of the Black Panthers or all that shit, right? Except if they come to the Hard Luck Show.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get the real heat up in this motherfucker.
It's important.
It is.
That these stories, when you tell stories like that,
Yeah.
that's
You're a good
American
storyteller.
history. It's American history too. It's what happened. This motherfucker reads. He reads fucking 2 books a week. Last 20 years. Think about that.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You were in court
He's
earlier?
a professor. He's a professor in law. He has a master's degree in screenwriting from UCLA. I mean, dude's like
Who's a beast, dog?
He's a beast, dude. A beast.
Dude, you're a beast. Compa.
So yeah, he's
I
good
came to school.
storyteller.
I came to school today.
Yeah, dog.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
you.
Fucking
Thank you.
trash bag boys.
Trash bag boy.
Fucking run it, dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta get it, right?
Yep.
Tell everybody where they go to find you.
On Instagram, I'm Trash Bag Boys.
Yep.
Regular, just Trash Bag Boys, or my Compa
Talking
Raider.
Trash?
Talking Trash podcast.
Podcast.
On
Don't
YouTube.
miss that.
Yeah, Talking Trash podcast. My bad. It's just like this is my second time coming to another podcast, so I was a little nervous. I was like,
Nah, bro.
Nah,
you
you did
fucking
great.
What advice you got for me, dog?
nothing.
Nothing.
You're doing it.
You're doing it, man.
You're
Yeah,
being-
dog. You're on it,
being
brother.
real. Don't even trip out.
Yeah, brother.
But if you want audio advice, if you're like, man, how do I make this shit even sound even cleaner, leaner, and meaner?
Yeah.
Old Blue Eyes, right here.
Blue Eyes, what's
Sean
cracking,
at
dog?
Media
Sheesh.
for all your audio and podcasting
This
needs.
guy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Nah, but I appreciate you guys for inviting me and showing love. And Compa Raider.
Yeah.
Compa Raider.
Compa _ Raider, dog. Let's
Raider.
get it.
Yeah, Compa Raider.
Yeah, raid her, homie. Was cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well.
All right, Mike. You got anything, Mike? Got anything, Salmon?
Scat man.
Give it to him.
Mike Angelo Photography on IG. Check it out. And
Yeah.
check out the song, make some music, and then.
All right, guys. All right. I think we got everybody. Thank you, brother, again for coming back
No, thank
down,
you, guys.
compa. And my pad is your pad, man. You come through anytime. Like, let's build from here.
Yeah, let's run it.
We're rolling with you, bro. So there it is. Talking Trash, Hard Luck Show, Compa Raider.
Yeah.
All right here. Stay tuned.
God
We
bless,
out of here
God
on Los.
Yeah.